Everybody can go ahead and add 5 points to your points card. And go ahead and if you don't have it, give yourself inspiration. Does anybody want to buy trinkets today?
I'm okay.
Nerissa?
I'm also okay. I'm saving up for another grand charm.
Okay. Flash? Okay. Last we left off, we had started our downtime. There wasn't really much that happened before you started downtime. I believe that Nerissa had gotten her upgrade for her tank, so it now has crab legs instead of wooden wheels. And I think you had like some leftover materials from that as well. I gave you like some starting materials. When we started downtime, Nerissa did start off by looking for more materials in the ocean to craft with the intention of finding things that she could use to like make like a mirror, like to redirect the laser to be able to kind of like move the laser for the ship. Which she was able to find a couple mirrors and things like that. Jesus, for your first part of downtime, you had wanted to learn how to read the music books and kind of like learn music theory. You did get Lyric to kind of help you as much as possible with that, but she didn't really know much about actual like kind of like actual music theory, but just like was able to kind of sing along. But you rolled really well on that. You did learn that aside from like the regular basic songs in some of these books, there were 6 specific songs that kind of tied to mythical creatures. So the Chimera, Dragon, Fey Folk, Unicorn, Basilisk, and Worm. Like worm, like the kind of like dragon, not the actual worm. You also, with how well you did with learning how to use music, you also learned how to use the instruments that you had on board, and were also able to teach one of those proficiencies to the other players. So you taught Brunk how to better use the drum, and you taught Nerissa how to use the lute. Brunk asked Rosalia to teach him how to cook, which he picked up right away like a duck to water. He received some cook's utensils from Rosalia, and also learned how to make mana nut bread, a kind of loaf that he can split up into 6 pieces that can give somebody the haste spell for 1 round. On the second kind of bout of downtime, the other thing that you did during the first week, Nerissa took some time to chat with Rosalia and learned a little bit more about her, although she was very secretive, something that Nerissa was able to pick up on quickly and kind of figure out the tell every time Rosalia was lying. But still exchanged stories and were able to increase their bond and kind of get a little bit more familiar with each other. Brunk wanted to learn different things from Barnabas, had a lot in regard to kind of learning a little bit more about how Barnabas got started as a pirate, and kind of how he's able to do what he does. And also learn how to drive the ship. So for the first week, for like the better half of the week, Brunk was steering the ship instead of Barnabas. And with a little help from Q, you were able to learn how to control the ship and operate sea vehicles. After kind of that first week, or within the back end of that first week, you came upon a ruined tower covered in old runes, like kind of like magical runes that probably would have glowed when they were active, but kind of had like a fade and kind of an age to them, as their magic was no longer active. Through the Identify spell, Nerissa was able to learn that it was called Isla de Ipsen, or Ipsen's Tower. and that it was created by a wizard obsessed with symmetry. So the island itself was symmetrical with like rocks and trees in the exact same place on either side. You explored the top part of the tower, not finding too much, finding kind of little bits here and there. At the top, finding a mirror that seemed to show a furnished counterpart room that looked similar in the way that like you could kind of recognize the structure to know that it was also part of that symmetry, though the room you were in was raided and didn't really have much else inside. Going back and starting to kind of explore the underside, which was filled with water, you did explore the first floor and found some additional items, including a cloak that Nerissa was able to identify as the Cloak of Steve. You brought that and the mirror back to the ship. And while you were in the tower, you did detect some kind of sea creature, although you weren't quite sure exactly what it was, and only saw the tail of when you noticed that it had followed you back up to the surface. Back on the ship, you brought the mirror, which kind of made Barnabas a little bit wary, but brought it to Jenny Greenteeth to store away in her kind of like pocket dimension, which didn't seem to disconnect the connection with the mirror. Like Nerissa, when you went in, you would have like you I think you covered it with a blanket as well, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you would have seen that like when you pushed it through, the connection didn't break, so you can still see that that kind of like underwater room. And I think also when you had looked, you did catch a glimpse of something swimming by, but you also could not catch exactly what it was. That is it for what happened before. We'll continue our downtime now. Back on the ship, we will once again start off with Nerissa at the top. What are you doing for your, like, what is your next step? You're into kind of the second week now of your voyage. Nothing really much has transpired since you left the little island. And it's been kind of like clear skies and like just open seas. You haven't come across anything else since then.
I want to start trying to use those materials that I found to work on my mirror idea for the laser beam so it can be more than just one directional.
Excellent. So, what are you trying to achieve with the mirrors? You have two steel mirrors right now, two like kind of like hand size ones. Are you trying to go for kind of like tight like 45-degree angles, or are you looking to be able to find a way to reflect this all the way around?
Do I have the materials to like I would like to eventually have it so it can like be like omnidirectional, but um I don't know if I've gathered enough materials for that, but I would like to like maybe start like working on like a base level like prototype almost to see like if I can at least like kind of angle it like this way and like up a little, like up and down a bit.
Okay. Um, that like I mean you can set the next DC here. That's not too complicated, so I'm not going to say like set a limit to the DC. I'd say if you were trying to do omnidirectional, I'd probably say 25 or 30. But
Yeah, no, I recognize that that's like a more like this is my first draft essentially of what I'm trying to build, so I want to keep it like simple to start with. Like I don't want it to
perfect.
be too crazy, but if I can just like even have it so that like if something is like over there, I can angle the laser over there, you know?
Yep. Um okay. Uh yeah. What are you setting the DC for this?
Uh, I don't know, like 15 maybe.
Just set it at the 15. All right. We're also going to call this
Yeah.
personal goals.
Okay. And can I get Q's help?
You can, yeah. So you'll get +3 on the roll here. So at the front of the ship, obviously this thing is alien to you. It's a mechanism, but it's very strange. But you understand lasers. That's simple. So you have enough materials. You've got the 2 mirrors. You managed, I think, on your last delve to find some kind of like random pieces of trash, so like metal bars and stuff like that.
I got some ball bearings.
Ball bearings,
Those would be
things
good
like
for
that.
like hinges.
Yes. So we are going to call this. Boop 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 boop. Tinker's Tool roll. You'll find that under Tool Proficiencies, and you should be able to click on it to make it like an actual roll. And then when you click on it and it brings up the thing for situational bonus, just put +3. So right now that's a 10. You do have an inspiration. Everybody got one.
I think I would like to use it because that was embarrassing.
Probably a good use of it, yeah. DC's a 15, so especially with the +3, it's not an impossible feat.
Yeah.
You're getting a +9. But it's a 13. It's hard because part of it is, I mean, like you've now able, you're still getting used to the legs on your tank, and it's kind of hard to get on the edge to be able to like fasten your mirror contraption on. Now, Nerissa, you do have the option to take a stress token.
A stress token?
Yeah, so if you take a stress token, you'll be able to re-roll again.
Okay.
But in return, you're going to get a disadvantage somewhere else.
Where?
We're
Where else?
going to say it is intelligence based. I don't want to give you disadvantage on your Tinker's tools. But I am going to say that due to the stress, until you relieve the stress with some self-care in your next downtime, you're going to get a disadvantage on your investigation checks.
Okay. Well, I can do self-care in my next turn, right?
No.
No?
No,
Wait.
self-care has to be
like
between
next,
1 and
like...
15, and it doesn't apply to this first downtime.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
in consequent downtimes, like, it's not just me that initiates downtime. You guys can decide, even when you're back on the mainland, be like, you know what, we just want to take a week to do downtime and investigate and do these categories, build relationships, things like that. You can tell me that you want to take downtime as well.
Okay, and you said it would be like a disadvantage on my investigation. So like when I roll investigation, it would just be rolling with disadvantage.
You'd be rolling investigation checks with disadvantage going forward if you take this stress token.
I hate that. I hate that a lot. I like investigating things, but I also really want this laser thing. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm stressing about it.
Yeah, I mean, as an inventor, it's kind of logical that you'd be kind of frazzled trying to get this thing to work. So go ahead and give me another Tinker's Tool check. Same thing. You can do your +3. Plus stress token.
Are you kidding me?
1.
Oh, I'm stressing in real life now.
Disadvantage. Why can't I fucking spell? Oh my god. I'm so glad nobody... Oh, well, whoever's watching the recording is gonna see that, and I'm so sorry.
Uh-huh.
It's embarrassing. It's a disadvantage or disadvantage. Too many letters. Disadvantage investigation.
Just have hyper fingers.
So you already took 1 stress token. You can take up to 5 before things get really bad. But you do have the opportunity to take another stress token to roll again.
I don't want to stress about it too much. What would another stress token do? What would 2 stress tokens do to me?
You're gonna get disadvantage somewhere else. The next one's probably gonna be your perception.
No. No, I depend on my perception a lot. I'm not doing it.
Okay. You fail, but you don't fail too hard. This isn't a fail by 5, thankfully.
Okay.
You're just not able to get it. And in doing that, and getting Q to help you, you get Q to try and, like you're, like, holding on to Q's legs while he's trying to fasten it on, and you accidentally let go. And he drops into the water.
Can I dive in after him to save him?
Sure. Yeah. You dive in. He also has wings.
Okay.
But when he dives, he bangs his arm on the ship, and you notice that the hand is like kind of like cracked. Like a couple of the fingers are bent. Like it's like so. When he is helping on consequent downtime activities, it is only going to provide a +1 now instead of a +3.
I'm sorry, guys. Question: can I use my next turn to try and help, like, fix his hand?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So, give me just a second here. Q. Failed downtimes. Failed downtime. 1. Not critical. Broken hand. +1 instead of +3. Okay. You drag him back up onto the water. It's kind of weird how he's designed, because instead of, like, having to, like, wait to dry out, it's almost like there's a blast of radiant energy from all of the, like, open space on his body. It, like, blasts the water out. Looks and says, "Thank you, Nerissa, for saving me."
Of course. Thank you for helping.
We will get it in time.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second here. We need one of these. Oh, no. One of these. Thank you. And that is a 13. Jesus?
Yeah.
Jesus. In this second week of downtime, what is the first thing that you're working on?
I'm going to start looking around the ship. I want to do an improvement to see if I could build something small to start growing the mushrooms in.
Okay, yeah, you're saying you wanted to make like a little mud box or a little dirt box to grow the mushrooms in?
Yeah.
So, there's materials on the ship. I'm sure Nerissa would be able to help you as far as, like, not just with materials, but probably buildings. So, you'll get advantage on this roll.
Okay.
I think at this point, it would be a nature check, because it's kind of knowing how to properly cultivate mushrooms when I don't think Jesus is much of a gardener normally. Um,
Yeah.
I think constructing
Okay.
something, especially with an artificer on board, is super easy, especially for how simple this is. How big are you wanting to make it?
About 4 feet long, about 2 feet wide, and maybe like 3 feet off the ground. It doesn't need to be super deep.
Okay, so you're taking up one square to make like a tiny little mushroom patch.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I need to bring up your ship. Actually, let's bring everybody to the crew level because I'm assuming that's where you want to put it, or do you want to put it in the bilge?
I was gonna put it in the crew level because I wanted it like close to the power source because I was hoping the magic from that would help speed up the growth of them and help with the growth of them overall. That was doable.
Okay.
It would need to be on the level below the power crystal because they need to be in a dark area.
Yeah. So kind of like a little patch, like right below, like just as like where when you climb down the ladder, just kind of right there.
Yeah,
Maybe like tucked in the
if everyone
back.
yeah, if everyone's cool with that.
Okay. Yeah. Roll a nature check with advantage. And what are you setting the DC at for it? I guess I should ask.
I'm gonna set it at 15.
Set it at 15.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me make this, instead of making it GM only, I'll make it all players so you can jump back and forth between the ship map and the downtime tracker. Can everybody see that at the top now?
Yep.
Downtime is an option? Okay, cool. Jesus is going to set this at 15. Once again, we're going to call this personal goals. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. 23.
Awesome.
DC was 15, so 5 over, almost 10. So, easily done with the box. Doesn't even take many materials for something of that size, just a little bit of the wood that you had started with. Let me see, where did we put your materials? I think in the top, right? Cog, red gem. Didn't I give you guys wood? Might be on Nerissa's character. I know I gave you guys materials. Yeah, scrap wood. So, Nerissa, are you okay with sacrificing some wood? I'll say it's only, you would only lose 1 unit of that. So you still have 4 units of scrap wood available. Dirt or like some kind of like material, even something like you use a combination of sand and kind of like fish shit. Like Nerissa would be able to go down and kind of like dive down and just grab like some sand to be able to fill this box with, to be able to provide some nutrients to the mushrooms for them to be able to grow. And with a 23, what kind of mustard do you want on it? Add a little bit, that little sprinkle. What would that little bit of extra be?
If I was gonna ask Nerissa if I could have a couple of her of the glowing stones that we took from Anthos' cave, just to add to the top of it.
You got it, dude.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think the little bit of extra then, as you plant these magical crystals that you already know resonate with magical energies. Like, it's happened with Nerissa's tank. It happened in Toman's lighthouse. And you also saw it kind of interact with the cave. The healing crystal came from Anthos's cave. I think as you plant them, it resonates with the healing crystal. And you watch as they actively glow. Kind of that same kind of blue hue as the crystal itself. And I'm going to say that because of that and how it resonates, it's going to cultivate faster. I was going to say normally, if it didn't have any kind of magical influence aside from being near or even under the crystal, you'd probably be looking at a week of time for it to be able to start growing more mushrooms. I'm going to say with the magical enhancement of the healing crystal, it's going to grow mushrooms or whatever you plant in there every 3 days. So within this first week, because it takes part of the week to actually put the box together, I'll say by the end of the week, you are going to you're going to see that like the mushrooms are starting to grow like rapidly. For every 1 mushroom that you put in, you're going to get 2 back. So you'll double your yield. Or no, sorry, we're 3 back, because normally you'd get 2. So if you plant 1, you'll get 2 more in its stead.
Awesome.
So you had 1 on you to start with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 1 to start with.
Do you leave them in the box, or do you pluck any of them?
Sorry, if I can I pluck a couple and then leave the rest so that more grow back?
Yeah, so if right now there are 3 in the box if you planted 1.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna just take one for now.
You'll take 1. So leave the 1 on your inventory. I'm going to actually in your inventory, we're going to group chest. I need to add a container. Give me a second here. DDB items. Give me a pouch. We're going to rename that pouch to Mushroom Box. Sorry, is this exclusively for mushrooms, or are you going to eventually use it for other mushrooms? That's a good question. Because then Nerissa's got a bunch of mushrooms.
Yeah, I want to use it for other mushrooms in the future too.
Okay. Mushroom box.
I'm thinking of other possibilities.
Yeah, I've got 15 mystery mushrooms.
Oh yeah, forgot about those.
I didn't realize I had that many.
Who knows what they are? They could be anything. I'm working on a table for it. Commodities. No. Containers? That's what we need. Okay, mushroom box. Okay, and then I just need to go over to one of your characters with mushrooms. Put it in the box. There we go. So now if you look in your group chest, you'll see the mushroom box is in there. You can click the little like box beside the name to like open and close it. And you'll see the mushrooms inside. Which I think is a really cool effect of this ship. You know what? Hold on. I think I can actually put it on the ship as an item. Would help if I was looking at the spot where your stuff is. Cargo and crew. Does it still work the same if I put it there? It does! Cool. So instead of having it in the chest, I'm going to have it... it is on the ship's inventory, and you can see that under the folder Slime, Steeds, and Pets in the PC folder. And you'll see it in the Cargo and Crew tab. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good... Okay. Yeah, so you guys have a mushroom box now. I'll add that to the ship, so I'll eventually update the picture, or the map picture. And that only takes up 1 square of space. You guys we'll put it in squares. So like if you're building a room, and depending on like what you want it to be, you can tell me how, like in the same regard, how big you want it, or if you have something that you're adding. Like I know, Nerissa, you'll eventually want to make like a workbench or something like that. Again, you can make like a little like actual room, or you can just have it as a separate thing, and you can decide how much space it takes up, based on what it is. Brunk.
I'm gonna be real super honest right now. I have lost my notes that I was making for last week because I reinstalled Windows today.
Okay.
And until I figure out where my what my Microsoft 365 is connected to, because it's obviously not connected to my main email address, I don't have those notes. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what it was we talked about last time, other than maybe what's in our, I guess, direct messages.
Well, I did watch last session. It was mostly like your focus was you were wanting to do a lot of stuff with the ship. So
Right.
you were wanting to kind of like learn to maneuver on the ship better and how to pilot it, which you learned last week. You had also had questions about like Barnabas. So if it was like relationships that you wanted to build, maybe to learn more about him or something along those lines. I think that was your main focus, though. I think your main focus was learning more ship skills.
Yeah. I remember that. And I remember that we did work on that, and we gained some ability to use navigator's tools, learn how to manage the water vehicle. The cooking thing was the first thing.
And you got a free spyglass.
Mm-hmm. So I know that I said I was going to work on. Oh, excuse me. I know part of what I was going to work on was like gaining some of the abilities that go along with some of the come from some feats, basically stuff that was related to um, learning a new fighting style, how to dueling fighting style from Barnabas. I think was one of the things that I was talking about wanting to try to learn. So maybe that would be the easiest next thing. Should we make that a 20? Since that'll be...
Yeah, 20 sounds good.
We want to call that a personal goal, I guess. It's kind of a personal goal wrapped up in the whole relationship thing with Barnabas a little bit, but
I think it counts. It is a form of bonding as well. I wouldn't put it specifically in relationships here, just because the purpose is for something personal, but I won't discount that it is like you guys spending time together.
It's a start. It's a it builds on the teaching me how to man the ship and run the ship and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're laying a foundation, I guess.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean, he'd take you up onto the deck. There's not really a need to steer the ship right now because you guys are just sailing in open water. And he'd be like, lad, I appreciate the exercise. What do you know now?
Oh, I put the armor on. I got a shield. I'll swing a warhammer around, or now that new sword I got from Jenny Greenteeth downstairs. But I was kind of, but most of my training has been focused on defending. I know how to, help prevent bad, or try to deflect, redirect damages that, might happen to someone close to me. If I'm standing near someone, I can either use a shield or the weapon I'm holding to kind of intercept an attack and try to minimize some of the damage that they might take. I can channel my faith into different abilities and whatnot, but what I'm really trying to do is just kind of gain a little bit better direct ability one-on-one, fighting, dueling with somebody, learn how to, and on top of that, I'm kind of trying to learn how to, obviously I don't want to be, I want to make sure that I've got my sea legs under me. If we have to fight on the deck of the ship again, like we did early on against those ink monsters, I want to make sure that I can, perform better, I guess is the best way. So I was just, thought maybe if you could show me a trick or two on, how a seaman, would fight on a ship, how a pirate would fight, how a captain would fight on a ship and protecting his people.
Aye. I'd be happy to help. Will you be wanting Q's help as well? I believe he may know a little bit about swashbuckling.
Well, I mean, we certainly could use his help, maybe as a, I don't know, giving direction, judging, a referee, if you will, maybe, or maybe just, maybe he's can offer some pointers as well. Sure.
Okay. Perfect. Q, he's calls for Q, and Q walks over. You see, like, a couple of his fingers are, like, bent back, and, like, the hand is kind of, like, cracked up. But thankfully, robots, don't have a preferred hand. They are ambidextrous. It uses its other hand holding just a rapier. And you'll get your +1 on your roll. So we are going to call it learning a new fighting style. We're going to call it an athletics check.
Okay. With a situational +1.
The situational +1. And you've set this DC at 20.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Oh, great. I guess I'm using my inspiration.
Okay. It's not a bad choice.
Try this again. Can't get worse than a 3, right? No, not much worse.
Ellie's face there is just...
Been one of those days, apparently.
So... Especially, they've been kind of, like...
Oh, hold on. I had an idea for something like this if I had to... I could use my Peerless Athlete Channel Divinity thing as part of this to gain advantage on an athletic check. So basically just roll again and see what I get.
Okay.
Or see what happens there.
Yeah.
Since that is one of my divine abilities.
It's a divinity? Okay.
Yeah, it's Channel Divinity. It's part of the Oath of Glory
Beauty. Yeah.
thing. So...
Yeah, I'll allow that. So go ahead and give me another one.
Come on, dice gods. Seriously.
Holy.
A fucking 3 again. Jeez. Here we are again. It's been a week, and we're now back to the shit rolls.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. I think maybe Brunk is getting a little overconfident. You the last 2 things over the last week, you've learned a lot. You were able to pick things up very quickly, and both of your teachers were very much glazing you with praise. And maybe especially fighting should be easy for you, right? It shouldn't be this complicated. But there's something about the finesse of the dueling style that you're just not clicking with. Now, I ask, as an overachiever, are you going to take a stress token to re-roll again?
I really don't want to.
If you do, I'll say you get your advantage from your channel divinity because it says it lasts 10 minutes. I'll give it to you here without expending like another channel divinity. So you'll get advantage on the roll, and you still get +1 from Q. Alternatively, if you keep the fail, something bad is going to happen to Q as well.
Either way, yeah, as I say, it seems like something bad's going to happen either way. So what the hell? Let's try it. We'll see what happens.
So roll your athletics with advantage.
Let me say it again. Surely nothing bad can happen, right?
Say that. Don't say those words.
Look at that. Look at that. That freaking 1.
Get out of here, 1.
If it were, was it the first or the second roll?
It was I don't know. It was one of the two. I rolled a 1 and a 16 on the advantage check. It was just like, God damn it.
I'll check in a minute. Give me a quick second here.
It's the second.
It's the second. So I mean,
it's the second.
Realistically or theoretically, based on the dice, you would have rolled the good one first.
Jesus.
And that gets a 1 out of the way, which is, it's aces.
Yeah, throw it in there with those 2 3s, and that's 6.
I think
Well,
I'm calling
the
it a
target
net
was
positive here.
if the target was a 20, then I guess we're at least over that.
Yeah, now it's not 5 over like you, but
Because at this point, I wouldn't
over
even think it would be would you deserve anything for a 5 over
over a
using the stress token.
over a 20 is still good here. Give me just a quick second because everything's taking so long.
Yeah, I'm barely functional on the computer right now after reinstalling Windows. I've got so much stuff to reinstall and reset, and stuff is already not working.
I feel you. I feel you. I have to restart my computer after this because my like everything's running kind of slow and my pictures aren't loading, but like it's just new pictures. Like they're just showing up as a generic icon.
I kept having a BSOD because of my capture card that's been in my computer, and it's something that happens randomly, but like it might happen it might can happen within 24 hours, it might happen 72 hours. It just happens randomly, and it would just shut my system down.
Jeez.
And the last piece of advice I had on trying to fix it was to do a complete reinstall of Windows. And since I was doing other project stuff this morning, I thought, well, while I'm in the middle of that, let me, do the reinstall. So we'll see if I end up, if this thing happens again, I'm taking that damn capture card out of my computer, and I'll sell it, and I'll find a different alternative for eventually.
What kind of cap card do you have right now?
It's an Elgato. It's the
Yeah.
4K. It's the 4K Pro.
I used to have problems with my Elgato too. I can't remember which one it was, but I had an Elgato back in the day.
I had one. The one I had before this, which was the previous iteration of this capture card, I was having the same problem. It's a driver issue, something to do with the capture utility, the Elgato capture utility, and it just every once in a while it just triggers it, and it'll just be out of nowhere, and it'll happen. It'll just completely pause and stop everything. And it happened once during one of our game sessions, and when I had to shut down and restart the computer.
The one I have now is an Avermedia capture card. I got it on Amazon. It was super cheap, and it is wonderful. I use it to play to like stream Switch games. The old Elgato was like after a while just not picking up the Switch anymore, and this one I have not had a single problem since I got it.
Like this is the best PCIe Elgato capture card. The plugs directly into my motherboard. They've got some external ones, and to be honest, if I get rid of this, I'll probably switch to the Rode Streamer X, and it'll be an all-in-one video and audio everything. In fact, I'd probably end up getting rid of my Wave XLR that I'm currently using as well, and I'd be just using the one device. So I'd basically get rid of 2 devices for one to turn into one thing.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, if you guys look at the crew level, I did add your mushroom box, which is what we were waiting on there. Brunk, we're going to settle up your stress token tab first. I think quite simply you already have the issue with like slipping with your slip disc. I think you're going to get disadvantage on athletics checks here. I think you overextended yourself a little bit too much.
Okey-dokey. How long does that last again?
Until, I guess, your next downtime when you can take self-care. I'm going to add that. I was putting it in flaws in the biography tab. Or at least I think that's where I put it on Nerissa's. I might put it in the journal tab instead, though. Nerissa, where did I put it? I did put it in the flaws. We're gonna change that to the journal tab under miscellaneous. Brunk. Your journal, I think, just says the same thing as your biography for miscellaneous. Yes. Disadvantage athletics. But you do learn the dueling fighting style, so you can go ahead and add that to your character sheet. You almost you pick it up after a while. Again, you're having a frustrating time picking it up, but you do get it eventually. I think in a bit of frustration, you almost get another strike that would have severed off Q's other hand, but managed to kind of catch yourself just before you do. And after kind of balancing and cooling off, Barnabas says, "Hey, all right. Maybe you train with me for a little bit as well. We're going to go with, I think, dueling is more of a dance, lad, than a strike. And he's going to take you through kind of motions. And as he does, he's going to teach you kind of a little bit of a breathing exercise that you can kind of use while you're kind of going through the paces and you're kind of practicing your dueling moves. Nerissa.
Yeah.
What are you doing for your next downtime, for the other half of what you do for this week?
Feel really bad about messing up Q's hand. Can I bring him over to the healing crystal and see if we can fix it up?
Sure. Yeah, you could go over to the healing crystal. Now, Q is, for all intents and purposes, a robot. He is a specialty warforged. He is mechanical. So bringing him over to the healing crystal isn't going to do much for repairing the damage. You tell me.
I just want the healing vibes.
Okay.
While I try to fix it, because
Okay.
I'm an artificer. Working on robots and stuff is kind of my thing.
Okay.
But I just want the good energy from the healing crystal to inspire me, I guess.
Sure. Go ahead.
And I just want to try to fix his hand.
Go ahead and set the DC for me.
Oh, 20 is my smallest option.
20 is your smallest option.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm going through it like Jeopardy question style, just like.
Well, I guess at this point, if it's important to you that you actually get this fixed on this go, then you can set it at your lowest at 20, but then that leaves 25 or 30 for the other things that you want to do.
I don't even remember what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Now, Q's hand, is it permanently messed up if I don't try to fix it, or is it just messed up for this downtime period and then he's gonna tap into the ship's magic and
It'll
eventually.
For sure be messed up for the rest of downtime.
But eventually it could. See, here's the thing. I don't want to risk having more shitty rolls. I did put those other dice in dice jail, though. I changed my dice set because I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm done with you guys. New dice.
Did you actually, did you change the colors?
Yeah, I changed, the colors, the texture. I changed it all, baby.
That's wonderful.
Those dice are in dice jail. They're dead to me.
That's fantastic. I take 5 points on your points card. That's a great touch.
Seriously.
putting the
Thank
dice
you.
putting the dice in dice jail. I like that.
I will take that. All right. So, I don't want to risk messing him up more though, in case these new dice are not friendly to me, because I don't know what they're gonna roll like yet. Oh,
Let's test this. I'm gonna give you a free roll before we do your downtime roll.
okay.
Let's call it, because this is gonna be it's trying to figure out an understanding of Q's structure.
Yeah.
Let's call it an investigation check.
You mean the thing I have a disadvantage on?
The thing you have disadvantage on, yeah. Go ahead and give me that
Fuck.
investigation check with disadvantage. That's not bad. That's an 18. You,
These dice are better.
from your understanding of Q, it does have like a repair matrix, so it does repair itself over time.
And if I try tinkering with him right now, I could risk doing
More
damage.
more harm. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm sorry guys for messing up his hand, but I'm not gonna try to fix it right now.
The fix would just be a +3 on the roll again if you use him.
I know I wouldn't.
But the thing is, though that +3, like right now you'll get +1 if you take his help. All of you are going to have to deal with the 25 and 30 rolls, and that's the only thing that's giving you help. As far
Do you
as
guys
like a
think I should
+2
try to
roll.
fix his hand? Q is somebody everyone gets to get help from.
Yeah.
So,
Just
what do you guys think? Should I try fixing his hand while risking potentially fucking it up more, or should we leave it at the +1?
I say go for it.
Okay, I'm really nervous, but hopefully these new dice don't do me dirty. I'm gonna try to fix his hand. I'm gonna tinker a little bit.
We believe it.
Thank you.
You got this. You got this.
Brunk, you don't look as confident.
Oh, it's not. It's nothing to do with that.
Okay.
He's dealing with tech gremlins of his own right now.
That's understandable. That is understandable. Okay. I will tinker with his hand and try and fix him up. Try to repair the damage I caused.
So, questions? What are you setting the DC at?
My next easiest one. 20.
20?
I'm so anxious. I'm so anxious. Yeah.
Brunk, your character sheet is fine on my end.
Yeah, well, let me reopen it because it doesn't look fine on my end. It's there, but like all of the extras and stuff that I've added, all the magic items, everything is gone because I updated something through D&D Beyond and it updated everything.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
I don't even know
yeah.
why that is on there.
All of your features.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
You have so many features.
What were you trying to change? Like, why not just update it right on the character sheet?
Oh, because I was having a trouble. I was trying to get the fighting style thing added, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I was adding it through Beyond to update it, and it just...
Yeah, I don't use D&D Beyond anymore. Just we'll do it physically.
I don't even know why that's there.
Ugh.
Should be there. Yeah.
I don't have your character backed up or saved anywhere else. And I don't have I haven't backed up this game in a while, I don't think.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean,
I'll work on it.
we have each episode of this
Yeah.
or each session like on YouTube. So at best, I've opened your character sheet guaranteed a few times. We've had discussions of the things you've had. So we
It'll be primarily the magic items and stuff that just need to be re-added, I think, for the most part, and everything else will just be the points card added to it, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. We will work on that. Sorry, Nerissa, you're setting your DC at a 20?
Yeah.
We're gonna call this relationships. This is you building your relationship with Q. And I guess the ship as well, since Q is something that works for everyone, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead and give me... the other question to ask is, are you using Q's help here? Are you taking the +1? Are you bouncing ideas off of him, or are you just trying to do it yourself?
I don't want to fuck him up more. But I also feel like he knows his hand better than I do. He knows how he operates better. Oh, this is stressful. That stress token is putting in its work. It's affecting me in real life. I'm so stressed out.
Very
right now.
powerful stress token.
It is. I'm so stressed out. I feel like by saying no, I'm mitigating the amount of damage I could potentially do to him if I do fail. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
also, I have to roll really fucking good. What roll is it gonna be?
Tinker's Tools.
Tinker's Tools again?
Yeah.
Oh,
You are doing tinkering.
that makes sense. Well, I still get +6 overall with my Tinker Tools, even before his extra +3.
+1.
Or +1, I mean. Sorry, I was looking at my last roll to see what my Tinker's Tools roll was like.
Hold on. Brunk, I'm gonna be opening up a previous episode and seeing if I had your character sheet open at all. I will be helping.
I'm gonna just go for his hand. I'm just gonna be like, let me fix you. Let me fix you like all my exes.
So you're not gonna use his +1? You're not gonna include him in the...
Well, okay, so if I fail this without his help, it still could potentially do damage to him, right?
I mean, you're doing
Like,
something that affects him, but if you're using his help, the loss is going to be worse than if you didn't.
Yeah, so I feel like by not using his help, I'm mitigating the potential damage. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be like, let me fix you.
He'll sit down. He doesn't even say anything aside from like, okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna try and futz with his hand. New dice, please work well for me. No! Oh! These are also going in dice jail so fast. No!
Nerissa,
No!
before I describe it, you have the opportunity here. Do you take a stress token?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, on a nat 1, yes.
Okay,
I'm
so
so stressed out.
the next stress was your perception.
I know.
Holy fucking shit. Okay. It's 2 stress tokens. But you're gonna get to roll again.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, you switch your dice over.
Yeah, these are fucking dead to me.
Because I gotta help Brunk anyway. Now,
These dice are dead to me.
if I remember Downtime, I look at your character sheets a lot, but I especially looked at your character sheets when we were doing Downtime. Brunk, you have warding armor, very rare. Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot this. And send it to you. Oh yeah, because I'm gonna have to figure out all your grand charms as well. I think it's just the one combat prowess. Hold on, I will grab more screenshots in a minute. Nerissa, are you ready to make your roll?
Yeah. I'm so mad at those dice. that test roll you had me do got me hopeful, and then they just smashed all those hopes and all my dreams of being good and doing good things.
Yeah, the dice are kind of bastards tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. So another Tinker's Tools.
Give me another Tinker's Tools.
Oh.
That's good! That's good! That's very good!
Leopard print dice are here, baby!
That is a 24. It is a 24.
So I fix his hand.
You fix his hand, and it's like you understand that it's going to take time. If he heals normally, but you can see that there is some kind of like nano something or other that is slowly fixing it anyway. So you manage to just kind of guide it along, and just kind of like you're able to like snap things together where it fuses faster. Being closer to the healing crystal actually turns out to help, in the way that whatever nano not radiation, but nano radiant energy is putting it back together as you are helping to kind of fasten things tight. It is doing the job of like sealing things up. But it is still precise enough that you think that if you messed it up here, it would have done like irreparable damage, to the point where you probably would have had to replace the hand even with its healing factor.
Jeez, that nat one was so scary.
Yeah.
Uh,
My heart's racing. It's just an NPC.
and a very helpful one, though.
I mean, just like any kind of surgery's stressful. And you're probably, I'd imagine you're going to relive that moment for a while, until you've had some time to really digest it. Jesus.
Alright, for my next downtime, I want to do some research into the books we took from the lighthouse. I want to see if there's anything in there about making magical items, like enchanting items with magic.
I think we were talking about this, and I'm pretty sure one of the books you had looked at in the lighthouse was one that involved, one that talked about like taking magic or insert like putting magic into objects, or like put like sealing things into objects using magic. I don't see it on anybody's sheet, but I don't think that anybody would have left it behind. So I will allow that the book was taken with the songbooks.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense to leave behind that kind of information anyway.
Yeah.
What are you trying to glean from this? Because, like, what the information that you guys had read, like, it wasn't instructions on how to do it. It was more kind of information about the concept of it.
I want to learn so in the future that I can make enchanted magic items.
The book itself is not going to be able to teach you that. However, you are intelligent enough that with a concept, you may be able to work it out on your own. With the information from this book, you may be able to make it out on your own. That is serious mojo, and so I'm going to say that that is going to have to be a 25 or 30.
Okay. I will try the 25 for that then.
25? Okay. We're calling this research. With the intention of learning how to imbue something with magic or contain magic. It's got to be an Arcana roll.
Okay.
Are you using Q's help here? He's once again giving a +3.
Yeah, I'll use Q's help here.
Okay. Beautiful. That's a 27.
Oh.
With this increased intelligence you have, and for the first time, like, you're in a period of time now where you're not, like, the person that you trust the least is Jenny Greenteeth. And while, like, you do get, like, kind of that skeptical feeling from her, she's not in your purview all the time. She spends most of the time in her tent or sitting outside of her tent chilling. She doesn't antagonize any of you. She antagonizes Barnabas. That's it. Like Barnabas will be going, like, try to go down to the quarters. Well, not even quarters. You don't have any quarters, but, like, the area that you've made, like, your sleeping arrangements. And she will just, like, curse him out and tease him. And he'll do the same. You sit in a quiet spot and read every inch of this book. And the concept seems simple enough. It's with enough knowledge of what you are placing in something and with enough arcane power, you can, depending on the purpose, place magic energies within objects. You understand through just the simple concepts that the objects require specific materials. So, you, for instance, if you are wanting to make, or like enchant an amulet, it can't just be a regular old, like, amulet made of, like, cheap gem. Like, it has to use some kind of magically charged gem to be able to hold it. Or maybe, like, the metal. Like, it can't be, like, just regular silver or gold. It has to be something that has some kind of enchant to it. Or it has to be a special kind of metal that is already magically charged. In the same regard, like if you wanted to make a staff, like you couldn't just use any branch, or you would need something that has the ability to contain magical energy, or something that naturally has a magical energy to it to start. If you're wanting to turn normal objects into magical objects, like that requires a lot more. That's when you're looking at like artificers to help you out, because that's what they're trained to do. From this, let's put the 27 down there. Oh, that's smart, Brunk. Just give yourself the money and grab it. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I think I've got everything except for the armor and the folding canoe and the shield are the only things that I haven't been able to find. I found the other items that are on my list, and I need to add the potions as well, I guess. But
yeah, and the grand charm and I think the trinket, because everybody had a trinket that gave them +1 to their melee attacks.
Yeah, I forgot about the trinkets. Yeah, I had like 2, and I can't remember what they were.
I think there was only 1 for this character. Might have had 2 for your Sunday character. I think the only one for this game has been the crab claw trinket.
I'm talking about the rolled the grand charms.
The charms. Yeah.
There were 2 charms, and I can't remember what they are. That's.
I remember the one, but I'm gonna have to look at your character sheet through or look at previous sessions to do the other ones. I'll make sure your character is fixed up by next week.
We're just about there.
Where is Jesus? That's why I had your character sheet up. We're gonna put this as a. Can I add custom proficiencies? No. Oh yeah, we can do. It'll be a special weapon proficiency, but that's not what it is. Create magical magic item. Okay. Yeah, you're smart and you get it. It is not going to be easy. You know you're not going to be able to do anything huge on the ship. You think with maybe enough effort you could probably start doing something if you wanted to like the crystals in the mushroom box if you wanted to practice. But you don't have like anything as far as materials right now to make anything major. Is that everybody? No, Brunk is the last one. Brunk. Why don't we take a 10-minute break here? I'm going to see what I can do to sort out Brunk's character sheet. And in that time, Flash, that will also give you a couple minutes to figure out what you want to do next.
All right.
Okay, so you grab the Riptide Katana. Let me grab the armor.
Yeah, I was trying to find the. I was trying to find the potion of healing. I'm gonna assume it's just the regular one that's in the normal core content stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a regular potion of healing. You had a mana nut as well. I can drag that from somebody else's.
I got the mana nut. I did
Okay.
find it.
Okay. And
I
you
think
have
so.
cantrip coin.
I got the cantrip coin. I got the crab claw trinket. I think literally the armor, the shield, and the potion of healing, and then the two whatever the two charms were, and then that's pretty much it. That's going to be everything. Oh, my points card.
And your points card. Yeah. Do you remember how many points you had?
I just it was 75. That's
Okay.
where I was at.
Okay.
As of today. So
Cool. Let me drag over a points card. Points card. There we go. 75.
potion of healing.
Got a potion of healing.
Got it. I just added it.
Communication crystal. You would have one of those.
Oh, completely forgot about that.
And you would have had like whatever special items you rolled at the beginning, like the slightly magical trinkets, and you would have had whatever charms you had. But I can figure all that out later. Okay.
But yeah, you got to add my slip disc back on there. I did get the grand charm added, so that's there.
Yeah, slip disc. I can't remember exactly what it was, but again, I can.
It was like a D100 percentile roll, and if I roll a 1 through 50, I've got my disadvantage on my athletics checks, or no, I'm restrained.
Yeah.
Gave me the restrained condition. I literally just looked at it.
Oh, where's the warding armor?
I know it's a Griffin saddlebag item.
Yeah, I have a lot of Griffin saddlebag folders, so
Gotcha.
I don't remember where it came from.
And the Toothy Maw, or whatever the shield was, what was it called? Shield of the Eldritch Maw.
Yeah.
And I think that one's probably in the Griffin saddlebag item too. Okay.
Yeah, you can take there's not much else you can do right now. I will grab this stuff if you want to take a $5.
No.
There it is. Warding armor, very rare. And it was chainmail. Very rare chainmail. The shield, I think, was 2024. That's newer. Maybe. Saddlebag. March. April. Shield of the Eldritch Maw. There we go. Okay. Here's handy spice pouch. The empty golden egg. Communication crystal, amethyst, emerald, and ruby. Is this the random junk items? Yeah. Random items. The amount of stuff that I just like randomly created on these character sheets is kind of funny. Crab claw trinket for sure. Counselor's charm, charm of alertness, and charm of time inversion. Regular charms. Okay, it was Counselor's Charm. Charm of Alertness. And the Charm of Time Inversion. Folding canoe. Folding canoe. Hey. I love you too. I've got all your items added. The Grand Charm, I'd like... You only had the Grand Charm of Combat Prowess pinned to your Attributes tab, and I haven't seen me scroll through a Features tab yet, so I'm still trying to figure it out. Grand Charm, Combat Prowess. Oh, you already found it. How did you find it? How did you find the Combat Prowess feature?
What?
The Combat Prowess feature was already on your character sheet. How did you find it?
It was in the charms under the cleaning crew DMs stuff, I think. Just searched charm. It's been in there for a while.
You have access to that folder?
Well, now Ellie's back there telling you that she sees it or something like that.
Oh.
It's in there. Yeah.
You guys aren't supposed to be able to...
It says locked, but it's there.
Well, then.
But...
Shit.
I mean, you know, we're not abusing it or anything, so...
Yeah, it's not like you can cheat fucking Grand Charms onto your character sheet because I'm a stoner and I'll forget which ones you have.
I can sneak the little charm. I can sneak the little charms on there. I guess I could start doing that. Here every once in a while, just
No, I would catch on to that quick. You guys don't spend a fucking anything.
How do you still have 5 charms on your sheet?
Ain't no fucking way. Where did these 8 charms come from?
And I literally have no idea what was on there. I mean, like, it's weird.
Oh, I got your charms. They're already on
Did
there.
you? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I had no clue.
You had alertness, time inversion, and counselors.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the last session up on the side right now, and I've just been like scrolling through when I've had your character sheet up, in hopes that I was smart enough to scroll through your tabs. Sometimes I do it randomly, like I'll just like go through your characters for fun, just as a refresher to know what you guys have. Clearly, I should do it more, and also I'm gonna like have to regularly back up your character sheets. But I should be doing that anyway, in case of things going awry. Okay. Your character sheet is mostly sorted right now. I don't think there's too much else that's missing. I'll have to do like a rewatch through the week for everything, but I think you should have most of your stuff. So Brunk, we are at you again for downtime.
What are the penalties if we fail it?
You don't
Like
know.
if we... Oh, okay.
Depends
'Cause,
on
like,
depends on what you're doing.
because I'm looking at the chart here, and it's like I don't think there's any way in the world that any of us is gonna. Well, at least there's no way in the world I can hit 30 on a check. So that's kind of why I was asking, because at this point, like, there's no way I could get there.
Yeah.
Now I had some ideas about that, about how to maybe, I had the thought of, what if one of my downtime activities was to try to gain like expertise in a skill that I already have proficiency in. For instance, I was thinking athletics, but now I've got a disadvantage on athletics. So that's not going to work this time around.
Theoretically,
I can't throw that out.
Theoretically, if you are using Q for help in certain situations, you can hit a 30 on things. For instance, if you were trying to build your relationship with the character and you use that +3, you have a +7 to your persuasion. So, in theory, there are things you can do that you can hit a 30 on. But otherwise, realistically, yes, you want to fail high. Because the farthest away from that target is worse. Like, if you still get a 25 and you only fail by the 5, it's not going to be something that bad, regardless of what you're doing. But if you're doing the DC 30 and you roll a 1, then, depending on the action, that can go really, really bad.
Yeah. What would it take to try to learn lyrics language?
To learn, I mean, with Q, and knowing that it sounds like different sounds that translate to words or concepts of words, it's not impossible. You would be rolling with advantage because Lyric is helping. And I think you would be rolling... That's the rub, but be an intelligence check.
I was wondering if performance was an option, given the fact that her language is music, or sounds like music.
I like
Not that intelligence is always. I mean, I'm good either way, but
I like a convincing argument, and performance is a convincing argument, given the nature is like in song. I would give you that here. I would absolutely give you performance instead.
Is Q still operating at a +1 on this check?
Nope, she fixed it.
Oh, so it's a 3.
Nerissa, you're muted.
She's chuckling about something.
She was just confirming that she fixed it.
Oh, okay.
She's eating milk and cookies.
Gotcha.
At least I think it's milk. Is it coffee?
If it was like coffee with like Oreos or something, I've done that.
It's cookies with Scorbits and Reese's Pieces that are a little bit burnt on the bottom.
Okay.
Hence dipping it in the coffee.
That's yeah.
Anytime you have to soften the cookie, that works out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. There's also white chocolate chips in the cookies as well. They're very decadent. I went all out.
So, what are we? Are we calling this the 25 or the 30?
That's up to you. Either way, it's high, so I just wouldn't allow the 10 here. You're learning an intricate language.
I mean, I feel like 25 is probably the target for this particular one.
Yeah.
If I have any chance at all of hitting that. When I use the cantrip coin, I can cast. Oh, it's got to be something for the wizard's cantrip list.
Yeah. Why you wanted guidance?
I was thinking about it. I mean,
yeah.
It's not a bad idea, right?
It's not a bad idea.
In the grand scheme of things.
You don't know guidance as a spell?
I don't have cantrips as a paladin. Paladins don't have cantrips.
That's crazy. Is there somebody on the ship that knows guidance? Hold on a second here.
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Where's Rosalia?
Rosalia? Is she cleric-y?
I'm looking. She is a cleric. But I don't remember which cantrips I chose for each of them. Where's my goddamn NPCs? Therios. There we go. Rosalia. Spellbook. She knows guidance! So, yeah, I would allow that. I would say Rosalia would probably be very interested in this process, too. And I would happily give you the D4 on that.
All right.
So your situational is 1d4 plus 3?
Yep.
Performance check with advantage.
Well, I feel like channeling Serrano from Major League. For Major League 1? Is it Major League 1? Where he says, help me now, Jobu? I said, fuck you. Except speaking to my deity. 18.
27.
That's not bad. That ain't bad.
It is not easy. And Brunk, for you, like, it's taking every ounce of brain cell that you have. But you have been communicating with Lyric now, even before having Q, from the time that you met her. You have had a close connection with her from the moment she came out of that egg. And I think that makes it easier. In the moments where it's really frustrating, she calms you. And as Q explains the sounds and how they work slowly, I think everybody gets involved here. And it's almost like performing a little song. Like, all of you now know some kind of instrument. Jesus
should have brought what's his name in on the Dragonborn in on this, because he knew her. I don't even know why we didn't think of that.
That's fair. Like Lothraxis doesn't know the language either, though. Like,
no, but he knows her, and it's
I think
help
in this moment everybody helps in a way. Like everybody, like it is a performance, and you're not just learning the song, like the language, but you're learning it almost as a song. It makes it easier to learn it as a song than not just as a language. It makes it easier to remember. It takes a lot of the whole week. It is an arduous task to try and learn a language in a week, but you start to get the gist of it. I'm going to say with the 27, you know Broken Astral Song. It's not perfect. You don't understand everything about the language, but you know enough now to be able to hold a conversation and be able to actually understand what she is saying back.
I mean, I'm not expecting to be able to speak the language. It's just understanding the language and, the nuances of it, or if it, like you said, broken. It's a rudimentary understanding that allows me to pick up some of it.
Yes.
Or maybe it's a sense of, like, it's an almost empathic sense of what she means, even if I don't understand what she says. If that makes sense. Like, I can pick up the nuance, even if I don't understand the words.
I'm going to say understanding, but limited speech. Maybe not everything you try to come across to her makes sense to her. Again, it's like somebody who's fluent having somebody who's like just learned the language, like talking to them. It's like, whoa. There's okay, you're good job. But you're starting to get it. Like, I think if you keep at it, you could be fluent in the language over time. Like, if you used another downtime at some point to work on it further, you could get fluent in it and be able to speak it and understand it, like, fully. But you know enough now, and especially with Q's help occasionally, you're able to have conversations, and you'd be able to have, like, if you wanted, like, a private one-on-one, you'd be able to have a broken language conversation with her about it. And that has been added to your character sheet. It gets to close to the end of the second week. Not quite the end. You're on the open water. I need everybody to roll perception checks for me, please. That's right, Nerissa. You with disadvantage. I see your face. You're muted.
I don't see shit.
It's Brunk. Brunk, on a 19, everybody else is kind of milling about the ship, not really paying attention. But you, who have been, like, training in seafaring, as Barnabas is steering the ship, you've kind of been going back and forth and just looking at the water and looking how the boat moves. And on a trip to the back deck, you just barely spot something in the distance. Raising up a spyglass, you look closer and zoom in on what appears to be another ship. It has black flags.
Oh, great.
With some kind of red markings on them.
Of course
And
does.
it is closing in.
Captain, we've got
Aye.
company.
Company, you say? What kind?
Something chasing us. A ship with black sails and red markings.
Interesting. What kind of red markings, lad? Give me a second here.
Hold on, let me look again. I didn't get a good look the first time.
Pirate attack. There we go.
Try to.
Those markings are not red.
Oh.
They look like.
I was thinking of a different ship. It is just regular pirate flags.
Looks like skulls and bloody swords.
Oh, it's amateurs. Okay. Well, get the cannons. Oh no. We don't have cannons.
Is the gun on the front? Is the laser beam on the front end of the ship? The light beam thing on the front end of the ship working?
It's working, but I didn't succeed in being able to aim it, so we'd have to fully turn the ship around to point the laser at this other ship. Like a full 180.
When I say this thing is closing in, it is closing in fast. It is not very long before it is like they've got all the sails going hard, and it looks like they've got maybe like some kind of wizards that are blowing air into the sails as well. And they are picking up speed quickly. They are further than that. We're gonna call it about twice that. 165 feet and closing in fast. This is going to be our first ship combat.
I'm so upset that I failed that roll at the beginning for the laser pointer. Laser pointer? The laser thingy.
I am going to drag your characters onto the map, but you're not moving around. It's just so that if you use abilities, like spells and stuff like that, it'll let you cast them. So hold on, let me grab you guys from another spot. Barnabas is steering the ship. He's like, there's not much I'm going to be able to do, and my magic is unreliable, so I think it's mainly up to you guys. If they get close enough and board, we're going to have to do what we can to defend ourselves. But I can try to get us out. I don't know. Brunk, you're gonna get your feet wet real quick, but I'm going to get you to take the lead on I don't know, instructing the crew.
Okay. Well, what do we got that can hit them at range?
Hold on, let me roll the initiative for the ships. You're faster than they are right now. You're going to be going first in the initiative. For what you have for range, it's pretty much going to be your spellcasters. You don't have any ballista or cannons. Looking on their ship, they do. They've got like a huge one on the front that looks like they're loading a grappling hook into, and they've got another one, they've got two on each side, smaller ballistas, then one giant one on the front, and then they've got what appears to be a cannon on each side.
Great.
How it's going to work is you have 3 actions for the ship. That includes movement. So if you're wanting to move the full 50 feet, that takes an action to move 50 feet. Normally your actions would include like things like firing cannons or loading cannons or stuff like that. But for the sake of you guys don't have any other really things for attacks, you will be able to replace one of those actions with one of your abilities. So if one of you can cast a spell or do something about it, then that will replace the action on the ship. Yes, Nerissa.
I have control air and water, which allows me to either cast fog cloud, which could be useful if we want to conceal ourselves, or I could also do gust of wind, which I'm thinking I could either use to like help propel us further away from them faster than we could already move, or potentially try to counteract some of the gusts of wind that they're casting to slow them down. However, if there's multiple spellcasters doing that, I don't know if that option would be as effective.
Yeah, and
But
technically
I just want to throw that out there to the party that that is something I can help with.
you have 1 gust of wind. It's once per long
Yeah.
rest. Yeah. Until you can cast 2nd level spells.
But I do have those abilities if we wanted to strategize with any of those. I just wanted to let you guys know I could do it.
Rosalia will be able to support what you guys do with guidance here. Otherwise, Rosalia doesn't have anything long range. Guiding bolt at 120 feet, maybe. But I think she's probably going to be a little bit more passive with casting spells in case they get aboard and she needs to heal anyone.
The only thing that I have that comes close is Fireball at 150 feet, but they're still out of range for that.
Lothraxis can also cast his Bigby's hand at 120 feet, and can fire a firebolt at 120 feet as well.
I have magic missile that can go to 120 feet, but that's the only like long range spell I have. Everything else is like 60 feet or less.
Q doesn't have attacks. He's got an unarmed strike. You guys are going to be able to upgrade Q just like you can upgrade the ship over time, but Q doesn't have any actual weapons or anything right now. Or weapon training, for that matter. That's not true. He would know how to use any weapons you guys can use, so if you wanted to arm him with something, you could. I'd allow that. I guess I should actually let you guys be able to see Q's character sheet. Because he's part of your active helping crew. Where's Q's character sheet?
Can I use spell scrolls?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm looking at Jenny Greenteeth's loot real quick and thinking, can I use a spell scroll?
So in my games, anyone can use spell scrolls. If you're casting it, and you like from a spell scroll, and you couldn't normally cast it, then the roll would be you need to roll an Arcana, and it is 10 plus the level of the spell is the DC.
But I could have somebody cast it on me.
Also that, yeah.
Oh.
You guys now have access to Q's character sheet. If you look in Slime, Steeds, and Pets, he's there. So you can see what he can do as well. Also means you can like just double click on his token to see his character sheet.
Hey, Jesus. You can cast wizardly-like spells, can't you?
Yeah, I can cast Fireball and Firebolt. I have a couple spells within 120 feet.
Yeah. Well, I've got an idea. So, as I come running back up onto the deck with 3 scrolls in my hands that I've just bought from Jenny, and I'm like, okay, these 2 can get us, the way she explained it is they can get us from here to over there, somewhere within about 500 feet. Like, they can take whoever casts it and one other person along with them. And this one lets me breathe fire or breathe dragon's breath like Lithraxis does for like a minute. So if we have to use these, I need you to cast these because otherwise we might fail. And you're going to be my taxi to get me over to the ship and back again. Hopefully. Or we might die. But if you can cast the dragon's breath on me and then teleport us to the ship, like move us over to the ship, like onto the sails, like up onto the yard arm on the sails, and I can breathe fire all over the sails so that they can't continue to follow us, and then we can get back, that might give us the chance to get away from them. Because otherwise, I don't think we can fight them.
Yeah,
What do you
I'd like to
think?
fight a fight.
I mean, that's a heck of a gambit, but what do you think?
I
Oh,
can get behind this plan.
I need to retcon something here. That's not what the ship
Uh-oh.
looks like. That's not what the ship looks like. That's just to represent that it's a pirate ship. I did have a particular ship in mind for this ship.
Did it actually have red on the sails?
It doesn't have red on the sails. That's still another ship I was thinking of. No, this ship doesn't have top sails. It has side sails, like wings, like a ton of them. And it looks like there's a arcane crystal on the back that is being used to propel it as well. There are still wizards blowing wind into the side sails, but it's instead of being like top sails like this, they're on the side. So it's got two little wings on the front, and then it's got like a larger set of wings, and then two side sails that are less of like a wing and more of like a traditional sail that are jutting off the side. It still has the rest of the setup though, as described.
So, it's either him. Either Jesus can do it, or, assuming it's going to have to be Jesus would do it, because otherwise, I'd be asking the captain to do it, and I don't know if he can or not. But then that would leave both of us off the ship, and that would be like, only if we really had to, kind of a situation.
The captain says, "I can do it." With a spell scroll, I haven't tried to use a spell scroll to see if my affliction is still affected that way. But I do use magic items. And they
Is this a new day?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like a week.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, unless you've got a better idea here, I'm just thinking, how can we get away from them, and maybe we can pick our target.
The problem is the problem also is if I'm using the Dimension Door spell to get you there, somebody else would have to steer the ship.
Yeah, that's why I said it's probably going to have to be Jesus.
Yeah.
Plus, I can try to protect Jesus while we're, trying to wreak havoc, as long as he stays close to me. Well, we want to stay close because that's the only way we're going to be able to get back off the ship and back over here. But I'm going to have time to, blow a little fire around. I guess the bigger question is, should we take out the sails of the ship, or should we take out one of the wizards, or more of the wizards?
I think we should just take out the sails and run. Just take out the sails and get out as quick as we can.
Okay. Well.
So it's
in
just
the meantime,
it's just gonna be the two of you on the ship?
Well, that's, you can only take two people with the Dimension Door. So,
but how?
Yeah, it's a risky ask.
Rosalia is the one. Like, what
situation.
about the crew? That's
Needs of the many.
That's a manned ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of people over there. I also just realized I have
You've got more ideas. I'm willing to listen, but this feels pretty desperate. We're inexperienced and don't have the ship-to-ship weapons. We can't outrun them.
If the ships get just a little bit closer, I can start hitting them with fireball. I could probably burn the sails from here.
We can try that.
I also just realized I have with my armor ability, I have the infiltrator armor, which includes a lightning launcher with a long range of 300 feet, which could get to them from where we are here.
Is that the type of armor you're using?
It's the one that's useful.
You can, well, you need to decide beforehand, because if that's the one, then that's the one until you take another rest. You don't just have access to both of them. You have to choose one or the other, and then you can switch them.
I don't think I previously have chosen one or the other, though. And just like looking at the two options, the Guardian doesn't have
a long range.
Anything ranged.
Yeah.
But the Infiltrator has the lightning launcher with a normal range of 90 feet or a long range of 300 feet. It deals 1d6 lightning damage on hit. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage to that target. I can increase my walking speed by another 5 feet. And And then I have like advantage on any other stealth checks as well. So like, I mean, like stealth isn't really gonna be as much of an option here because they clearly see us. But I feel like that lightning launcher is gonna be pretty helpful here.
Probably.
All right, infiltrator's the one I've got.
Okay, yeah, it changes on a short or long rest
Yeah.
using Smith's tools, which I have to give you.
I thought I had
Oh,
them.
you do. You have them. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question before anything else is, what does the lightning or what does the infiltrator armor look like? Because it's an extension of your tank, or an extension of your armor, which in this case is your tank. So, how does your tank go from like it's like crab crawly right now to infiltrator mode? What does that look like?
Asking me to be creative on the spot. um, so my tank has like it's got like the crabby crawly legs. There's like an element of magic to this, right? So like I can be like it magically like slightly like morphs. Yeah. Okay. So like imagine like the tank suddenly goes into like vertical mode. So like the top part that's open now has a side like a pane of glass that comes up to keep the water in. And now it's like vertical and I've got like armholes that I can like pew 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 with like weapons out of. And that is it's like covered so now I'm like more like protected as well instead of being like out of the water. It's like like the Houdini tank that he like escaped, like he would try to like escape from the water in. It's like that, but like a little bit more compact and with like crab legs at the bottom because it still has the legs.
Okay. And normally with the lightning launcher, it's a gem-like node that appears on like one of your fists or on your chest. But since it's your tank, what does the lightning launcher weapon look like on the tank?
It's like an arm that like comes out of the side of the tank and like it can have like the gem like the gem node on like the side of the arm. It's
like a mechanical
like
arm?
yeah.
So there's
like similar material to like the crab legs.
So there's
It's
armholes that allow you to have
maybe
your
not
arms.
maybe not armholes, just like an arm that's like a mechanical, and I can like I don't know how I would control it, just like either magically or like if there's like little like levers inside the tank for like.
Do you have
aiming.
does it have multiple arms? Because like how do you use your weapons then? Because you still have access to all of your equipment and stuff like that.
Oh shit! Okay, so maybe it's not fully enclosed. Okay, so I can still get out the top then, and that's how I use my arms.
So
there's like the.
So the tank turns into a coffin and stands on its side on top of the crab legs, and
so yeah, it's like vertical now, and the crab legs are at the bottom, and then there's also two additional like arms out the side that are like mechanical. The one has a lightning launcher, the other one maybe can like grab stuff or something. I don't know if that's a thing I can do.
Yeah.
It just feels wrong having only one arm on the side, though. It feels like it needs to be like symmetrical.
I'm with it. I'm about it.
Yeah, and then I can still like poke my head out the top of the tank and like use my own weapons and my arms that way. But like there's levers inside that I can like use to like aim the.
So the hole is at the top of the coffin.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I was saying.
And you have two like if you have like two arms, maybe it's like both arms are the lightning launcher. Like they fire as one blast, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Wow.
I'll draw it so it makes more sense for next week.
Yeah. But I get it. I very much get it. So are you firing at the ship or are you firing at like trying to like get somebody on board?
How well can I see what's over there? Because like they're quite a distance. Can I even aim at something like, or is it just like I can see the ship? I'm aiming at the ship.
Like I mean, like you're pretty much aiming at the ship unless you have a way to enhance your vision.
I'm aiming at the hull of the ship. Then I'm gonna try to sink this bitch.
Okay, aiming at the hull. I think you get what disadvantage at 300 feet.
Probably. So my long range.
Yeah. Nerissa Coral Storm. Lightning Launcher. Within a normal range of 90 feet or a long range of 300 feet. So you're rolling with disadvantage.
Okay.
Does this give you a normal, like, attack roll? It does! So you just click attack, and then you'd click disadvantage.
Under my
If you look in the chat, under your features, the active abilities, the lightning launcher,
standard
actually
roll.
works.
Wait, what do I have to... Wait, where do I click?
Okay.
Sorry.
So in your features tab, do you see under active abilities, it says Thunder Gauntlets, Defensive Field, and Lightning Launcher?
I see it now. I was looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, and if you like hover over what is a star for Lightning Launcher, it'll turn into a little dice, and you can just click it.
Attack. Disadvantage.
That's a 23. That hits.
Nice.
Your little, like, gem nodes on these arms charge up, just and fire off this lightning blast. Go ahead and roll your damage. Oh, it only does a d6.
Ugh. Can I upgrade that eventually or no?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I would like to
You clearly hit the ship, but it, like, you watch as your lightning blast kind of, like, hits against the hull and fizzles. Unfortunately, ships have a damage threshold. Anything under 10, it doesn't do anything to it.
What if, like, can that, like, be built up, or, like, is it just, like, if it's not over 10, it doesn't do anything, or can I, like, hit it multiple times and, like, eventually, like,
You're gonna have
wear
to
it
aim at
down?
people.
Yeah, you're gonna have to aim at people, or, like, you can hit other, if you look at it, like, double click on the Sea Serpent, you'll see that it has multiple parts, like the helm, the sails, the restoration figure. All of those have separate ACs and HP. So you can target parts of the ship. Like, you can target their sails, and it will do damage to the sails. And, like, that doesn't have a threshold.
Oh, okay, but the hull itself does.
Yeah.
So I should have aimed for the sails.
Honestly, I would allow that. If you want to aim for the sails instead, I'll do that damage to the sails instead.
Yeah, I would prefer to aim for the sails, because I didn't know that
Yeah.
difference.
Okay. You can also aim for the helm. You can aim for their weapons. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys think the sail is the best option, or should I try the helm or weapons? What do you think, guys?
I think the sails.
Because they're coming up on us real quick, so. Okay, I will aim for the sails.
Yeah, you do. I did the damage to it already. You hit a sail and you watch as, like, your lightning blast kind of, like, burns into it a little bit. Not very much, but, like, you see, like, maybe, like, you wouldn't see it, but a tiny, like, little hole forms from, like a singe from the lightning hitting it.
Okay. Can I also cast Fog Cloud on us to help hide us from them? Like,
No, because
No.
you used your action.
Oh.
And you only have 3 actions for the ship. So the lightning launcher would have been your first
shit.
action if you want, and that includes moving. So whatever you guys do next, you have 2 more actions as a group that you can do before it's the enemy's turn.
Sorry, that wasn't more helpful.
That's something you can reach, right?
I don't think I could quite hit the ship with fireball from here, but could I maybe hit the sails from here? Would the fire, if I cast it to the side of the ship, would the fireballs 20-foot reach?
What's the distance on fireball?
150 feet.
With the 20-foot spread, it's probably gonna do damage to the hull and the sails.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna cast fireball and
In order for us to use the figurehead, we have to be basically head to head with them, right?
You'd have to be facing it, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
or somehow let it get ahead of you.
Does this ship have anchors?
Might have an anchor or some kind of anchor device. It can make one of these. Fails, so the ship is going to take full damage on this. No maneuvering out of the way for these guys. And you said you're kind of like trying to fire it on the side, so you're getting like more sail than ship?
yeah.
Okay, so it's 15. 15 to the hull. 15 to the sails. And then I need to go over to the combat map. These guys. These is dudes. Fireball. 20-foot radius. Oh, wait, no. I just need a
I
template.
realized I put the template on the wrong ship.
No, that's fine. I can grab the template from anywhere. Side of the ship, hitting a sail. No matter where it goes, it's only going to hit one sail, so we're going to call it right there. We're not aiming for people. It's going to get 3. Okay, so that is these guys. I need a roll. DC is 15. It's a dexterity saving throw. What? Nope, that's the wrong guys. It's trying to get me to do it on your characters, and that doesn't make sense. So just do these individually. Private roll. Okay. It was 15 or 7 for half. That guy's dead. And that guy's dead. Okay. Yeah, you fire off a fireball, but you see the explosion like kind of rock the ship and see it kind of like rock to the side a little bit from the explosion. And you did do a fair bit, not an insane amount of damage to everything, but like you definitely have left a little bit of a mark already. You got one more action.
I'm turning the ship 90 degrees.
You're
Because
gonna.
that's what I can do with the helm, right? I can turn it 90 degrees, make one 90-degree turn in an action, in a one 90-degree turn in a turn, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we should have done that twice.
So you're gonna
I don't know.
have Barnabas turn the ship around, like start trying to turn the ship around. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play. We're gonna play chicken with these assholes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a pretty powerful laser. It's just pointing the wrong direction right now.
That's our biggest gun. We can't use it right now, so.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Plus, if we decide to play chicken and just skirt by them, maybe we can take out their sails along as we skim next to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Plus, we'll be able to get a better look at them and see what's up with them. Get a better feel for what we're dealing with if we're facing them and like
There we go.
getting closer.
Yeah, take them on.
Yeah, so you like with a little bit of magic and a little bit of finesse, he is able to start turning the ship and turns it that 90 degrees. But that is all for your first turn. Now they get to do some stuff. Gotta look at their crew. $30.90. Deck Wizards. Okay. This is gonna be some good old-fashioned ship combat then. Range 600 to 2400. Range 120, 480. Okay. They see you starting to turn your ship. Their second action is that they are also going to turn their ship to be able to aim a cannon at you, and they're going to fire one of those cannons. They are aiming for your sail. And I believe hit with a 16. The Sea Serpent has a 15 AC. For 71. As they fire like this barrage, like cannon fire that you watch kind of just like rips through a bunch of your sails, like in a line. And even from as far back as like where you are, you hear just like faint maniacal laughter. Just so they turned, they fired a cannon.
They also came closer to us.
And they moved closer. That is their 3 actions. Back to the slippery... What was it? What the fuck
Silvery,
is this
slippery
thing's
sea
name?
serpent.
Slippery, silvery sea serpent. the Quad S crew, what are you gonna do?
Well, we're certainly making another turn. We're continuing the turn to line ourselves up with them.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we should fire a laser.
Hold on. Gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. And you are pointed towards them. I'm not gonna, like, you don't have to be so precise that you're right in front of them. You'll have been able to turn it like that little bit.
As long as we can
Point the laser
pointed-
at them.
point it at them.
Yep. You're gonna fire your radiant beam.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is the fires in a 120-foot line?
I mean, the goal is to try to just wash across the deck.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to hit people, not the. No, I'm trying to hit the people, not the ship.
It's probably gonna hit the ship too. It's a big ass laser. We'll do the ship's roll first because it's here. But the ship is turned. So you're gonna hit people in the middle of the ship. Okay, that's good to know.
Which is
Fact
right
that
where
they're
the
turned
sails
means
are,
it's a bigger
right?
target.
Yeah, because they turned to fire their cannon. So if you're
Right.
firing at them head on, you're gonna be hitting like the center of the ship.
Mhm.
So it's a deck save. We'll start with this thing. Okay, so the ship itself fails. Go ahead and roll 8d10 damage for me.
Nerissa?
Me?
Yep. You're the one
Okay.
operating the beam.
Oh yeah. What do I have to click? Do you want me to just roll 8d10?
Just roll 8d10. Yeah.
Mr. Nerissa, if you please.
Do I put the... Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. I know where to do it.
Oh my god. First of all,
3 zeros.
3 zeros. Oh, those are 10s.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even know they had zeros. No, that's way better.
So rips across the center of the ship, first like going like into the hull, and you watch as it like sears into the hull and leaves like a bright like burn print in the side that like it's gonna take a bit to cool down, but like the side of the ship is like fucking burnt. I'm gonna say that cannon that fired at you was in that range, so it is gonna have to. I think it just takes the damage here. It doesn't have like a dexterity saving throw on its own. It's a cannon. It's not moving. So that's minus 46. It's not completely out, but it's not great either. It is being manned by regular common sailors, so they are dead. Hold on, I need to go to the ocean combat.
Does it blow anybody off the ship?
Rips through them. Never mind, blows them off the
radiant
ship.
beam, if it hits anybody and they fail to save, it knocks them 20 feet back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find that out. They're gonna have the ship, like if like it won't knock them off the ship. Like at most, it'll knock them into like the brace of the ship, like the side rails. But it will do fucking tons of damage, and it will push the ship itself.
Is their ship now taking on water?
No.
Yeah.
No, you did not penetrate the hull. You just you seared the side of it and killed some of the people inside. 120-foot line. Ship is like that goes through the ship at the distance you were at. There would have been. I'm just trying to think because like I have to account for the crew on the inside of the ship as well. there's 2 people who have to man that cannon, so both of them are for sure dead. Nerissa, roll a d6 for me.
This one?
Yeah. And you get an additional 1 then. So let me bring up the ship. I immediately have to lower the number of crew, common crew, from 20 to 17. And then some of those guys are on here. How many are on here? I think 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, because 1 died. So that one also has to be accounted for. So that's 16 common crew members remaining. They're just like commoners, but the swabbies that do things. Okay, worked that time. The roll here is a 15 dex. Oh, I wanted to make those private. That's fine. Oh yeah, not great. I don't think any of these guys have 46. Yeah, they're all dead. So that was a bosun, a swabby, another bosun, 2 more swabbies, and another bosun. Pirate ship. Swabbies. 3, so that's 13. There's 1, 2, 3 bosuns. 9 left. Holy! Yeah, they're just erased.
Good.
Okay. Oh, I did not want to bring you onto this map yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're way further back than.
Yeah, no, that was for the eventual potential boarding, if they got close enough to board. So that was your second action, because the first one was turning it their way. What's the last thing that you're doing this turn?
Did I hit them with another fireball?
You gonna fire another fireball at him?
Brunk, did I hit him?
Yes.
Alright.
Aim for the front. Aim for the front end.
Alright, I'll aim.
Aim for the front end of the ship. Go ahead and
In my mind, I'm saying lead the shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, lead your shot. Shoot for the front.
go ahead and roll your damage, please. Come on, all ones. Come on, all ones.
No.
Not a single one in the bunch. That's 38 damage. That, first of all, that hits the ship. That for sure hits a sail. One of the fin ones in the front.
75% of those dice were 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's dope.
You hit their largest ballista, which I actually have to... This should be a giant. That only brings the health up to a 75. And then that is minus 38. Big one on the front takes some damage. Yeah. Let me go back to the action over here. You're hitting.
Can I roll an intimidation check and make a loud, maniacal laugh? Back
Yeah,
at
they
him?
laughed at us. We should laugh back at them.
Sure, roll an intimidation.
Eh.
They can hear you.
I'm gonna laugh. Just.
Additionally, you're gonna take down more of their forces here.
That is intimidating.
3 swabbies. Oh no, this should be.
I think
10.
Brunk might be developing some anger management issues.
2 bosons. Oh man, I was not expecting you guys to do this well in the pirate challenge right away. Okay. That was your 3 actions. Yeah, you're close enough now that you hear, "I don't care how many of you die, we're taking them." And it's gonna be...
I would hate working for that guy.
It's funny that he says that because in a minute we're going to have plenty of resources to build up our ship.
Yeah.
2 actions.
He took my arm. Kill him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the one thing I remember about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie is Paul Rubin.
Huh?
He
Amazing.
took my arm. Kill him a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, kill him a lot.
Yeah, they're getting fairly close. They are going to use their last action to fire one of their ballistas, aiming for your sails as well. I'll go with one of these damaged ones.
It says it takes 1 action to load a ballista, 1 action to aim it, and 1 action to fire it. Should that not have been 3 separate actions? Or did they do the loading and aiming?
Yeah, the aiming was them getting like to the front of your ship because they have 1 on the front and then 2 on like the front sides.
Okay.
But they miss anyway. They go to fire off the shot, and I believe the sails have a 15 AC. No, they have a 12 AC. Sorry, they just hit your sails with a ballista bolt. For 19. Your sails are still taking air, but you're slowing down. Not enough that you're completely down and out, but they are not doing great right now.
Does the Restoration Orb's passive healing apply to the sails? Or to just the ship's total HP?
It extends to the sails as well. Everything will get... they will regenerate over time. Anything created by the ship regenerates over time. But it is still 1 HP a second, or every 6 seconds, so...
I'll take 1 HP per round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not bad.
And it's better than nothing. And that is the last thing they can do. They are... Until they completely meet you, until they're, right here. I'm not going to call them ready to board. They're still like just like right behind you. Or right in front of you, I guess. Like, you are now, like, nose to nose, basically.
So we could fire our laser at them again.
Your laser takes an hour to recharge.
Oh, never mind. We can't fire our laser at them again. Yet.
It passively recharges through the crystal, right? What if someone were to grab a hold of the crystal orb and pump like a guiding light or guiding bolt spell or, you know, something like that into it? It was a creative thought.
I like it.
To actively recharge it, like, quicker. Of course, I mean, I guess I could be running the risk of damaging the figurehead or overloading it in some way.
They are also close enough that a lot of, I don't know what spells you have, Brunk, but I know I've got a lot more spells now that are within range.
How close is close? And are we gonna pick this up next time? Is that where we're at this point? We're at 10 o'clock. That's why I asked.
Yeah, we're reaching our normal end time. If you want to conclude here, or like you've done
do we have any other actions for the round? Are we?
You would be starting a new round, so we could stop here if you like. And start up again next week, and you guys can do like actual like map combat against these guys, which will give me time to make the adjustments of turning your ship around and readjusting the bars for your sails.
Might not be the worst idea.
Okay. Then yeah, that's where we'll end it for now. You, like doing quite a bit of substantial damage to the ship, but now, like, nose to nose almost, like, as, like, the ship is coming in to try and, like, dock, you see, like, some of the crew looks really scared, but the captain that is manning the helm right now doesn't look frightened at all. And he is raising his sword pointed, like, let's get him! You can see that he has, like, this strange-looking pistol on his side, and, like, you can see close enough now that it appears that there's, like, some glowing markings on it. There are two wizards that now, like, they've stopped, like, casting control, like, or the wind spell into the sails, and instead are starting to, like, form some kind of spell, like, they're going to, like, fire some kind of, like attack at you guys. There are several of them that are like the remaining ones that are like pulling out like swords and like hooks on chains that they're swinging around. And there's one good-looking pirate like kind of off to the side wearing like this fancy coat that is also holding like what appears to be a cutlass that has some kind of rune etched into the side that's glowing. And also one of these pistols that she's holding out that is also got, like, these glowing runes on the side.
Nice.
And then a bunch of, like, there's still some swabbies that, like, look terrified and are scrambling and running. But yeah, that's where we'll... Oh, sorry. One more thing that you see. Right in front of the helm, on like on a railing, you see there is a blood red hawk with like almost like a glowing, like it looks like their chest has like a glowing scar.
Ooh.
And yeah, we'll see how your encounter with the pirate crew goes, next week. Not next week? Yes, next week. I don't think there's a reason for anybody to be off next week, right? 14th?
No, but the 21st probably will be a week off for me.
Okay.
It's my daughter's birthday.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figure I should be available for whatever we might decide to do.
Well,
Hell yeah.
send a happy early birthday from the DM. So next week we're on. Yeah. I was going to tell him.
Excellent.
So I think I talked about this on a previous game, but here is the. Sorry, I had to get it into the shame.
Yeah.
I've got paper over it right now and masking tape so that I can do the painting this weekend. But as you can see on the other side, it's going to be white on the interior, and then
I love it.
black around the edges, and this will be for mounting on the wall above wherever her record player will be.
Yeah.
And then she can fit the records, like she can set the records in this while they're playing, so that it's like hey, this is what's playing.
I love that.
I've been kicking around the ideas with it, and I'm gonna try to find a. I haven't taken the time to look yet, but I was thinking about trying to find some like LED, like a LED light bar thing where I can put like a bar on each side, and then this spot down here at the bottom, depending on if it would need to be like. I mean, I don't know if I'd be looking to find something that's going to have like a little switch or something like a little box or something that's going to be attached to it that would have to that I could set there, or if maybe I'm going to have to modify this where I can cut a chunk out so I can run a cord down out of it, so that it'll, something like that. But I'm going to try to come up with something.
We got
lights. We
got at one of our dollar stores, just like little stick-on colored light strips that you can change with, like it comes with a little remote that you can change it different colors and stuff.
I spent the entire damn morning trying to touch up the black paint, and I kept accidentally spraying the white on the inside, and having to touch up the white, and then having to touch up the black, and go. And I was just going back and forth. If the weather cooperates and it's decent tomorrow, I'm gonna spray it with sealer, because I think I've finally got it to the point where I can just spray it with the sealant and leave it alone.
It looks cool.
So
I think that's gonna be really awesome.
Yeah.
So apparently I had
makes me want to find another one and see if I can do it, and start painting them up and put them on Facebook Marketplace or something.
Apparently I had the Be Right Back up screen for like the whole back half of that session, but nothing really interesting happened, so like it was like as far as like visuals go anyway. But I'm gonna end the recording here, so thanks to everybody who's tuning in, watching the VOD. We love every single one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and as always, power to the players. We'll be back next week for a pirate battle and a little more downtime. And that is done.